it seems I'm in deep trouble. When trials like sea billows roll, whatever, my Lord, you have taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul. When pressures of life come.
Welcome to the greatest show on earth, the mother of all current affairs program with the diaspora effect and Pan-Africanism. My name is Osagyefo, and we're going to be looking at issues pertaining the diaspora and Pan-Africanism. We'll look at some of the trending headlines from the global world, international world, from our international news desk. And then I'll be dribbling my way to the motherland, which is Africa, where we'll be looking at trending news items as well, and what we can do to change the plight of Africa. I'll also be introducing my special guest, who you can all see on my wonderful and beautiful screens. I also like to remind my wonderful audiences around the globe to like, share, and subscribe so that brothers, sisters, family members can all benefit this rich conversation. Let me go straight away before the international news to welcome my special guests seen on the screens. Hello, my very learned colleague in the person of Kunle. Kunle, how are you? And welcome to the wonderful program, the current affairs program with a Pan-African and diaspora perspective. Welcome to the show, Kunle. I think we've lost Kunle. Once we get him back, I'm going to reconnect him. My engineers are working so tirelessly to make sure everything goes on smoothly. Okay, let me welcome my learned colleague, that is Dr. J.B. Mensah, all the way from Accra. Doctor, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hello, good evening, and thank you very much for the invitation, the honor done me by inviting me. I'm very grateful, and I also say a good evening to my colleague invited panelists to the program. Good evening to you all.
Nice one, Doctor. So if you can tell us a bit about yourself, so people will know who they are dealing with.
Okay, my name is Dr. John Mensah or J.B. Mensah. Yeah, and my profession is called embryologist. That's the embryologist. Embryologist in medicine. Embryologist in medicine is someone who basically make embryos. So if you have heard of IVF, in vitro fertilization, that's what we basically do. So my own work as an embryologist is to assist someone to get pregnant or assist a couples who have issues of infertility to achieve a pregnancy. That's basically what I do. So I get the human egg, I get the sperm, fertilize it, transfer back into you. That's what basically an embryologist do. But over the years growing up, I've also developed a keen interest in current affairs, Pan-African affairs, and global news or global financial system that actually controls the financial system in Africa. And the global elites who are in charge of the financial system are the same people who are also responsible for all the wars and the crimes in this world. They create wars, cause chaos, so that they can benefit from the very crimes they have committed. And they have actually put things in place to keep Africa where is it. So I've developed keen interest to actually assist and educate so that we can enlighten the average Ghanaian in the whole world about how things are happening, so that we can take decisive actions to make positive impact in our lives.
Okay, that's a powerful background there. So, doctor, briefly, and a minute, did you believe in the COVID and the COVID shutdown of all the measures they brought into the world? Do you believe in the COVID?
Okay, I'm going to say this from my own personal point of view. From my personal point of view, I believe that it's just a horse, because medically, virus are actually meat, because virus are like particles that cannot exist as an independent organism. They cannot live independently, but they only live and replicate inside another living organism. So most viruses are actually created biologically. I have some videos which only I can share with you, where the HIV virus was actually made by some scientists from US and Africa to actually reduce African population. And research indicates that the COVID actually was created for their own purpose, to make money and control affairs. Because those who didn't take the vaccine, they are still there, and those who took the vaccine had some people died, even dead as a result of taking the vaccine. Even though COVID existed, the laboratory tests, but I cannot doubt that there's a global agenda to control the narrative and push the world into the hands of people to make money.
Okay.
I'll not do that.
Thank you so much, Doc. If we have people like you, sometimes we need to try and then dig deep into certain aspects of your background, which is a specialist area. That's why I brought that in. Now, let me go and welcome our beautiful ladies in the person of Queen Deborah. Queen Deborah, welcome to the show. And how you doing?
I'm okay, Oganana. And
right now, I'm a guy, and can you see my dressing very well? Because right now I'm Igbe from Igbo in Nigeria.
You have become chief now.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one there, you know.
And welcome, my brother, the doctor from Ghana. God bless you as well.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. So let me go to the beautiful Abuajiwa. Abuajiwa, how are you? Because I know you'll be mixing the lingua, both the English and the Chi, Ashanti, because those of us in the diaspora, we love the Akan language to the maximum. And so, Abuajiwa, Akwaba, and welcome.
Akwabo. That means ekabo in Yoruba language.
I think I've lost Abuajiwa. Abuajiwa. Okay, I've lost Abuajiwa, and then so let's carry on with the show. As soon as they try to link back, I'll reintroduce them once again. Okay, so let's look at briefly some of the headlines coming from the international news desk of Voice of London Radio, ABL TV, with a feed to Voice of London Radio. The main rivals to Turkey's President to Erdogan, that is the Turkish president, has been formally arrested and charged with corruption. Ekrem İmamoğlu, the mayor of Istanbul, is expected to be selected as the opposition Republican People's Party's presidential nominee in a ballot that is today. He has denied allegations and said they are politically motivated, and as he quoted, "I will never bow," he wrote on X before he was remanded in custody. So this has caused a lot of tension in Turkey, with a lot of demonstrations against his arrest. And as the news feeds keep coming in, we'll update you on our next show, as we do as usual. Now, continuing with our international news desk and the headlines, more than 50,000 killed in Gaza since the Israeli offensive began, and that is Hamas-run ministry says. So 50,000 killed in Gaza since Israeli offensive began. And this is coming from the Hamas news text. Continuing, Pope Francis, we all know he got very ill. People thought he was dead, but he's alive and kicking. So from the Vatican news desk, we have Pope Francis has appeared at his window of the Gemelli Hospital in Rome and offered a blessing for the first time since being admitted on February 14th. That was the Valentine's Day. The 88-year-old pontiff was discharged minutes later, and doctors say he will need at least 2 months of rest at the Vatican. So keep it right here on Voice of London Television, ABL TV, with the feed to Voice of London Radio for all the updates and the happenings across the global world. President Trump from the United States of America, as usual, President Trump envoy dismisses Tama plan for Ukraine. So we are talking about the United States of America's stance against the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Say Keir Starmer's plan for an international force to support a ceasefire in Ukraine has been dismissed as a posture and a pose by Donald Trump's special envoy. Steve Witkoff said the idea was based on a simplistic notion of the UK Prime Minister and other European leaders thinking we have all got to be like Winston Churchill. So that is a take from the Trump administration regarding the Ukraine war. Another interesting story coming from the United States news desk. President Donald Trump revokes security clearance for Kamala Harris, Clinton, and critics. Let me take excerpts from that story. US President Donald Trump revoked security clearances from his previously defeated Democratic election rivals, Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton, as well as a number of other former officials and critics. Trump said he was revoking security clearance for his predecessor, Joe Biden. His order confirmed that decision, adding that he was also revoking the security clearance of any other member of the Biden family. And that's an interesting one there, coming from our international news desk. And still sticking with news coming from the United States of America, we have the heavyweight boxing champion, former heavyweight champion, the legend, George Foreman, dies, age is 76. The story of George Foreman is also related to Africa. We all know the fight with Muhammad Ali in Zaire. People call it Zaire. Okay, depending on the phonetics you want to use. Known as Big George in the ring, the American built one of the most remarkable and enduring careers in the sport, winning Olympic gold in 1968 and claiming the world heavyweight title twice, 21 years apart. The second making him the oldest champion in history at age 45. He lost his first title to Muhammad Ali in their famous Rumble in the Jungle fight in 1974. But overall, he an association to the 68. Okay, so let me just quickly move to the look at interesting part of the web. From the motherland of Africa. Interesting news headlines from Africa. South Africa envoy fell from the United States as We spoke about it last week. The South African ambassador who was expelled from the US after government has said he has Ibrahim Rasool arrived back home Sunday and hundreds of supporters in international tensions between South Africa and the US have been on a downward spiral since January. So that's an interesting story from Africa. And then this Kenyan personnel killed ambush near Somalia. Let me turn my attention to Nigeria. Our Nigerians are widening the divide back home. It's a very interesting story because scenes playing out in Nigeria be in a movie. Emotional reunion, this is when Nigerians home country. They are nicknamed back IJGB and bring with them more than 50 their wallets are boosted but it also highlights those who live in Nigeria, many in the local Naira feel shut out of their own cities, especially in the economic hub of Lagos, residents say this is particularly a term used to refer to the celebrations around Christmas and New Year. Okay, so this is just tidbits from the African News Desk. Let me just take one last one, which is Namibia swears in first female president. And this is a very important news item. Namibia's new president, because don't forget, Africa has also got another one in Tanzania, a female president. And in Ghana, we have a vice president. So we can see the African ladies are really coming up. Namibia's new president was sworn in on Friday to lead a country facing high rates of unemployment, inequality, and poverty. And she will be dealing with it, an additional burden of being only Africa's second ever directly elected female president and Namibia's first female head of state. So we'll keep our eye on that particular story from Namibia, and definitely we'll be updating you, our fervent listeners. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also say, coming from Mother Ghana, Ghana actually outplayed the country Chad and beat them 5-0 in their latest football match that took place on Friday. Now, my learned colleagues, JB, Queen Deborah, and of course those that will be joining us as well, let's quickly take the story of the Nigerians that are coming from abroad, and of course spending so much money, making the local Nigerians feel very inferior. I think this is an interesting story because it's not just Nigeria. Across Africa, those that live abroad in the diaspora, of course, the foreign exchange, you go to Africa, you flaunt yourself as usual. Some of us actually are very modest, but majority are not modest. They actually rub it in the faces of the local people. What's your take on that, Queen Deborah? Talking about the foreign, and I would say foreigners, our own brothers and sisters that live abroad. And then we go back home to the motherland and we found so much money, and we get a prices increase to an already impoverished society and communities. Queen Deborah, what's your view on that? And this is a reflection across Africa, not just Nigeria. But let's use the Nigerian as a test case.
Yeah, really, you see, when it comes to that kind of situation, I look at it, I'll call it stupidness. You understand? That's what I'm going to call it. Because we that are in Europe, we know what we are going through and we know how we work. You understand? And we know how we make the money. And even the money that you are making is not as is enough, you understand? And then one stupid person, you will not go to Africa, you want to go and be showing off. You understand? It doesn't make sense. So I will not put much math on that because I look at it that because of should I call it lack of wisdom or lack of knowledge? I don't know what to call it. So that's one I wouldn't like to put much math in that. You understand?
Okay, so let me ask you a question before I go to Doc. Um, when you went to Nigeria the last time, did you
Yeah.
actually feel that that was the case? That might not be you, you might lead a modest life, but might not rob it. But do you think most of the diasporans that go back home tend to rub it in the faces of the local populates?
Yeah, maybe because when I was going, you understand, a lot of people are telling me at that time, that is 2019, Abi,
Yeah.
and they are telling me that, oh, you don't have to go to your mother place, just go and rent hotel. You come from Europe, that kind of a thing. And I
Mm.
told them that no, if my mother is sleeping in the gutter, I'm going to go to the gutter and sleep
Yeah.
there. Yeah, that's it. So when I go, even people don't know that I came from Europe. You understand?
Mm.
Because I'm on my low key, you understand? And I
Okay.
behave as a normal native person. You understand? So
Okay.
I don't so much see that on around.
That's a very good point. Let me go
Yeah,
to Doc JB.
I don't.
This tends
Okay.
to be the case across Africa. And the point Queen Deborah made is very, very important so that we can learn and help address those issues. I'm of the view that is part of slave mentality, colonial and slave and colonial mentality, because I think the local people will feel those who have no, should I say, maybe feelings might be a bit economic a bit, but go there splashing out, showing off, and
That's it.
they don't have a sense of about the indigenous people there. What's your take on that, Doc?
Okay, as you said, most of these issues is due to the colonial mentality. Yeah, growing up as kids, there was this kind of narrative perception that people living outside Ghana or living in Europe are better off than people in Ghana, and when it comes to economic terms. So
Yeah.
that kind of impression have actually existed. So when someone travels outside and come to Ghana, they want to come and spend to show off to actually maintain or meet what the people anticipate expect from them, because that kind of new colonial mentality which we've had over the years persists. So it compels people returning from Europe to Africa to actually spend beyond their budget. For
Mm,
the a few years or days I spent in, around that most Ghanaians who travel to Europe are engaged in menial jobs, cleaning, washing, and things all kind of work. And they take several years to save that money that they come and spend over here. So yeah, they take so many years to save that money they come and spend here. And because
mhm.
of the perception which have existed over the years, they try to impress, they try to meet the expectations of the indigenous here. And that
Yeah.
compels them to spend to rob it when they feel to show off. But in reality, most of them don't have the financial means as they try to portray.
Mm-mm.
That's
Yeah.
quite
And then
interesting.
God bless you, doctor, for what you said now. You understand? Because when
Yeah.
I went that time, a lot of them, some of them that I know, they came to me and they are telling me that, oh, I should please, can you please help us? How are we going to go to Europe? How are we going to come to London or this thing? But me, I'm the kind of person, I'll be honest with you. It's either you take it or you leave it. You understand? I told them, I said, look, my brother, do you know how many years I've left Nigeria? Almost 22 years. And I'm coming just now to come and see my mother for the first time. And I let them, I said, how much do you have in your hand? Some of them told me they have millions, some of them have 600. I said, why can't you use that money? You understand? And look for a good business that you can put that money into.
Of course, that's
Why
it.
can't you do that? Why do you people
Yes.
think that coming to Europe is heaven?
Yes.
I said, the way you people think, they made you to believe, which is true, because it happened during the time of Macaulay in 1838. When they came to Africa, they look at it, they said that, oh, when Macaulay came back, he went to England. He come back to England. And they had the meeting that, okay, what are your findings? And he told them that, oh, that they have been to a continent, that continent, they will never, never beg for bread. They will never, never lack. They don't need European to survive. Because it is a land that is full of resources. The Most High God has
Yes.
blessed them abundantly, that they don't even need
Yes.
to beg anybody or to even come. They don't have anything to do in Europe.
Yes.
He said, but the only thing that we can do to bring these people down, that they will submit to us, is to brainwash them, making them to
Yes.
understand that whatsoever that come from the West is better than the
Yes.
African.
Yes.
So that mentality. So it is we now, like this topic we are talking today, is very, very important. You understand?
Yes.
So it is we now that have to tell our people that it is not like that.
Yes.
Africa, the moment we realize that Africa is better than Europe, we know that our
Yes.
leaders has become their slave. We know that. You understand?
Yes.
But at the same time, with the little we have, with the little resources we have, we can still be better. We don't even have little resources. We have more than
Yes.
enough. We have more than enough.
Yes.
And I said, so do not look at it that I look that, oh, it has to be London. It has to be even children, they brainwash the children as well. They brainwash the little ones to go to
Yes.
school in London, to go to school in America. That is the only way out. It's never the only way out.
No.
My own brother called me, his son was calling me, and I said, no. And I asked, I said, why is he not going to school? What is he waiting for? He said, oh, I said, don't think about London. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it at all. If you cannot go to school in Nigeria, let him go to Ghana. If you cannot go to Ghana, let him go to Abidjan. Nigeria and Ghana, we all are neighbors. We surround ourselves. Why must he be? You have to come to London.
Okay. Yeah, Queen, let me welcome one of our learned colleagues. Hello, who have I gone? Can you hear me?
Mentality, stupid mentality.
Okay, once I get the link. Okay, so Doc.
Hello.
Queen Deborah is firing live, you know, that's powerful.
I'm
Yes.
off
Yes.
the way our people read, the way they think. Even with that, I hear you, Oganana, you know what we are going through here. It is by the grace of God that we all are surviving.
Yes.
It's not because I'm sorry, sir. Somebody was telling me one day, he said, he wanted to rent a house, you understand? And he's going to pay 700,000. That is for 1 year. That is for 1 good year. And I asked the person, and I said, you know how much I pay for my house rent here? He said, how much? I said, in this place, I pay £1,000 for 3-bedroom house. And that's just only for 1 month. It's not for 1 year. It's for just 1 month. I say, we pay for water. You will pay for the air you breathe, which is the road tax. You will pay for council tax. You pay that, you pay that, you pay that. I said, do you pay all that in Nigeria? Do we pay all that in Africa? I said, we don't.
No.
So if you are paying 700,000 per year, and I'm paying £1,000, when you are working, they already calculate your salary for you. Your salary have calculated your money, your house rent, and everything you are going to use. It has been calculated already. So by the time you spend everything, you divide it, a little thing will be left in your hand that you are going to manage yourself.
That's a very, very powerful.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And even you can see a lot of people going to Italy through the sea. They just showed them, was it last week? On the sea, they are going to Italy. on the sea. Many of them die on the road. That money that you use to travel, why can't you use that money? If you cannot stay in Nigeria, go to Ghana, go to Lome, go to Misebo, go to Ghana, or go to other African country and do something, look for something to do.
Okay, that's powerful. Doc, do you want to add
Yes,
before I go to the... Yeah, go
yes,
on.
yes,
Doc,
Madam Queen Deborah.
Doc, wait a minute. Let me see if
Yes.
I can link one of our special guests. Hello, special guest. Hello, special guest. Okay, once I'm able to link him, I'll welcome him or her. Yeah, Doc, carry on from where you left off.
Okay. Okay, Madam Queen Deborah, I'm so impressed with your comment. I'm so happy and so impressed with the comment that you made. That's the reality, and I've proven that you are very enlightened and are well learned. I'm so impressed with the comment.
Thank you.
The British imperialism and colonialism
Mm.
put structures in such a way that you are going to be ashamed of your own self. Right? This is how it is. So they kill your self-esteem and ego.
I'm
And one
telling
principle everybody should know in this world that in the moments you lose your self-confidence, your ego, and like your pride,
you.
you
Exactly.
cease to be an instrument by which God or nature can use you to achieve anything on earth. Why?
Exactly.
Because if you're a footballer and you don't have the confidence that you can play the football, even on the football field, you're not going to put your energy. You don't even play in the field in the first place. So the
Mhm.
white man, British imperialism, deliberately, consistently, through religion, through education, killed our self-esteem. So one,
Exactly.
a growing
Exactly.
child don't have the confidence that he can make it in Ghana. To the
Exactly.
extent that even in our national teams, the football have to play in the European soil before they are allowed to play in our own national team. Because the brain of our leaders, everybody have been brainwashed that football is playing out in Ghana not good. They have to play on the soil of other countries.
Mm-hmm.
But records available, empirical evidence with facts suggest that when African nations use African players playing on the soil of Africa, they do better.
Exactly.
Egypt, yes, Egypt won the nation cup 6 times. They use footballers playing in Alali and their local teams.
Mm-hmm.
When Ghana won nation cup in the 1980s, I wasn't born by then. But they used local players in Kotoko to win it.
That's it.
And but you've got our self-confidence and ego. So an engineer in Ghana not respected, you have to be in Europe, and that has to continue. So you have to make a conscious effort to actually reprogram our mind, our thinking, our psychology, to accept that we are not inferior creatures, we are capable. And this was the deliberate act
We
of the
will be capable,
British
fully,
government.
fully
And
capable.
and I'm not condemning the Bible, but they did that through religion. When I was a kid, we used to have pen pals. Whenever you write a letter to your pen pal in the US or UK and they're replying, instead of them to give you material that will help you to improve your life, they're going to give you Bible, New Testament Bible. There's one book written by one Robert Koch. He was a pastor. The book was entitled "How to Make the Negro a Christian," how to make the black man a Christian. They realized that when a black man becomes a fully devoted Christian, just like how Macaulay said in British Parliament that you have to break the culture heritage of Africans. You know that when the black man becomes a fully devoted Christian, their capacity to think critically gets seized. You know, right? So whenever they reply the letter, the pen pal, they give a Bible. So through that, they can seize the thinking capacity of the black man. So that you can feel that they're inferior, our culture is inferior, our ancestors are bad, our religion is bad, everything about is inferior. So that they can control and be the people we are. So there should be a deliberate effort for us to identify this mechanism by which these things work, so that we can truly become aware, self-aware, know our true identity, and evolve as a people to become a better version of ourselves. Thank
Okay.
you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Doc. Thank
I
you
want
so much
to
for that insight. So we'll be going into
Ogaden.
finding holistic solutions to the plight, because it doesn't make sense if the motherland Africa is the largest continent in the world. with the largest resources: gold, diamond, bauxite, manganese, lithium, coltan, rivers, land, affable land, everything. And yet, we've got such situations. It's so sad. We need to find holistic, lasting solutions to that. Before I go into those areas, let me welcome my next guest who has just joined us. Hello, special guest. Hello, loyal and special guest. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can see you on the screen, but I think your link is a bit weak. Yeah. Try and find a better link because I could see you on and off. Anyway, when we get a stronger link, I'll come back to you again. So let me go straight to Doc. Doc, we know Africa is not poor. Kwame Nkrumah, the first Ghanaian to get independence for that Sub-Saharan African in 1957. Kwame Nkrumah also was able to pioneer the Pan-Africanism. He was able to, when the colonial masters were leaving or giving Ghana independence, there was only about 4 things that they had in Ghana. That's the Takrady Abo. And I understand the Takrady Abo was used to siphon, you know what I mean, from that part
yes.
of the world.
Yeah.
And then we had that was in the school. And then we had Kolebu when they are sick to take their people there. And I think there was one other thing, 4. But Kwame Nkrumah took over. And before the CIA and traitors, the indigenous traitors, derailed the progress of Kwame Nkrumah, he had 600 factories, industries.
Yes.
Ghana was building boats and ships. Ghana was selling to foreign countries. He did Akosobo Dam, supplying electricity to the whole of Ghana and other countries like Togo and Burkina Faso. Also started the nuclear power at Kwabenya, which is still there. And because of his depose, all those things have become. All right. So let me welcome Kule to the show. I think we lost him again. Okay, if Kule comes back, we'll welcome him. We lost him. Okay, so basically, Kwame Nkrumah said, Africa is not poor. It is the people that are poor. And he proved it himself by managing Africa well. And wherever you step in the world, when you mention Nkrumah, you mention Ghana. Sorry, I apologize. Yeah.
Bless you.
Yeah, you know, in this country, whether you the people. Anyway, so Kwame Nkrumah proved to the whole world world that Ghana is able to manage itself, and therefore he proved and was able to get Africans to become the first pilots piloting their own Ghana Airways to Heathrow Airport, Germany, and American cities. And that was brilliant. So Africa can manage its own self because Ghana was thriving. Ghana had the then president of the US visiting Ghana, the Queen of England visited Ghana, and Kwame Nkrumah had a dance with the Queen. And you could see all those deep state and establishment angry. Why should the Queen dance with Kwame Nkrumah and all that? So, given the opportunity without the interference of the colonial masters, I think that Ghana and the rest of Africa can turn the tide around as Burkina Faso Ibrahim Traore is doing now. Doc, what are some of the holistic solutions you think we can put in place to reverse these sad, scenarios?
Okay. Before I say this, I'm going to make this statement. It must not sound good as a Christian. I don't know if you are Christians, but it might not sound good. The Messiah of the black man, the black race, people who have black skin, our Messiah is or was Kwame Nkrumah, not Jesus. I must make this fact clear. Kwame Nkrumah was God's greatest asset to the black man. Period. Yes, Kwame Nkrumah was God's greatest asset to the black man, and the Messiah of the black man was Kwame Nkrumah, not Jesus. That fact must be established. And he was somebody who had the knowledge, understood the modus operandi of the deep state, new colonialism, and how to plan to actually make Ghana come out with it. The greatest tragedy that ever happened to the black man or people with black skin is the February 1966 coup that overthrew Kwame Nkrumah. That was the greatest tragedy that ever happened to the black race ever in the history of mankind. Now, how did this start? In 1965, Kwame Nkrumah published a book. The book was titled Neo-Colonialism, the Last Stage of Imperialism. When Kwame Nkrumah wrote that book and published, the CIA wrote a memo, after memo, and the memo, they convened the meeting. And the meeting, they planned how to overthrow Kwame Nkrumah, how to kill Kwame Nkrumah. The CIA did it. How did they do it? They have to use our local collaborators. Kufuor's father, Kufuor's uncle, Jamie Dankwa, Afrifa, Obicha Blanty. They brought him bombs to bomb Nkrumah at the Kolumugu, Flatter Force, Accra Stadium, doing everything to actually overthrow Kwame Nkrumah. Let's talk about resources and money. Money can be printed. You have to understand this. There should be a clear distinction without any ambiguity. You have to understand this. Money can be printed in abundance, but the global financial architecture, which the deep state, the imperialists have put in place, is what compels us to borrow to make us poor. For assuming if you have gold, you can't eat gold. You can't use to do anything. You are going to sell the gold to get money to buy the things that you want. But government can print money. So what do we do tomorrow? It's the global financial system which the imperialists have put things in place that ties the hands of African leaders, making us poor. So to make sure, they make sure that you will not be able to exploit your resources and use for yourself. For assuming, if you want a car, you want TV, everything, and you have those resources here, we can mine them, produce, refine them, and use it to make our cars here. Government can just print money, buy for Ghanaian workers because it's in cities. If you want to build roads, you want to contract road, you need bitumen, you need heavy machines to do it. Heavy machines are made from iron and aluminium. If you can process iron, aluminium here to make those heavy machines and have the bitumen from the oil refinery, government can just print money and all roads in Ghana will be asphalt. That's it. But to stop that, they have to make sure that your industry should not work. So that's why they threw Kwame Nkrumah. So if government have to build the road, you have to import the bulldozer and heavy equipment. You have to import bitumen. If you're importing, you have to get their currency to import, which is dollar or euro, which we cannot print. So you have to earn it. How do you earn it? They will tell you to sell those very resources to them. Are you getting the picture?
Yeah.
You'll be compelled to sell those very resources which you need to develop to them. At prices they will determine, not your prices.
Yes, I think Doc's network fading off.
I pray the network should come back.
Yeah. Okay, Queen.
Hello.
Okay,
Can you hear
Doc,
me?
Governor, is it back now?
yeah, he's back.
That's
Okay. Can I? Yes.
Yeah, you broke off briefly, so continue.
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Continue. Okay. And you'll be compelled to sell those resources to them in order to get the dollars and use that dollars to import the heavy equipment, import bitumen, import rice, sugar, or medication to it. But if I sell those resources, they determine the price. So how much money you can make from those resources is dependent on that decision. If government decides not to sell those resources, there will be no dollars to import diesel or petrol in Ghana. No car will move, the country will crash. If government decides not to sell the gold at prices they determine to get dollars, there will be no medicine, there will be no clothes, there will be no shirt in Ghana. The country will collapse. So you'll be compelled to
right,
sell.
Doc, I'll continue. Hold on, where you stopped, you continue. But let me welcome Kunle, who is joining us directly on our WhatsApp number. Kunle, can you hear me? Hello? My learned friend Kunle. Nigeria's network has become so pathetic. We need to fix this. Probably we need Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso to become the new Nigerian president. Kule, are you live? Are you there? Okay, we are fixing Kule's connection. Probably once he gets a good network, we'll link him up. Doc, sorry to interrupt the way you were flowing and finding holistic solutions to African issues. Doc, continue, please.
Okay, so you have to sell resources to get dollars to import the basic things that you need. And so far as you cannot produce those things, the control to actually dictate for you.
Yeah.
So and the amount of money that you get from the selling of the good resources is determined by them. So that money, their plan is in such a way that it can only keep you surviving. So if government have to do any major project, you need dollars. That will compare out to borrow. And this mechanism
once again, I apologize sincerely. Kule, can I pick you up?
Yes.
I can hear you now, I think. Hello, Kule?
I'm here.
Okay, grateful. We thank you so much for trying hard to join the conversation and be part of this great show, the mother of all current affairs show and program. Okay, Kule, we were speaking briefly about those in the diaspora, especially Nigeria, when they visit during Christmas. Oh, sorry, my good audiences, I really sincerely apologize, and I'm sure the symptom is just gonna run off. Don't worry. Anyway, so Kule, the idea is why those of us from the diaspora go back to the motherland, and then we rub it into the locals' faces because we've got enough foreign exchange to splash out. And sometimes they feel a bit inferior. And then quickly, just give me brief responses. And the second part that we are dealing with now is that what are some of the measures we can put in place to salvage Mother Africa? Kule.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. So, what's your opinion and what's your views on that?
You need to repeat that.
So you couldn't hear me well. It could be your network. I'm saying
I can hear. It just went blank for a few moments, so I didn't catch the.
Okay, I'm saying that we the diasporians, when we go to the motherland, we tend to kind of like flaunt our wealth in the faces of the locals. And this is something that has come up. And how do we address that? And then secondly, how can Africa be so rich yet so poor?
Yeah. Let me take it one at a time.
Let's be very brief, yeah.
Yes, a few of us do attempt or come to the motherland for vacation or some other purpose, and knowingly or unknowingly flaunt what they have in their possession, and sometimes it could have very dangerous consequences, and so that's by the way. Then about coming from a rich country or continent, and yet they still appear to be poor. Well, you and I know that is definitely as a result of bad and poor leadership. Poor, bad, weak leadership. And the reason for that is, most of our so-called rulers or leaders have decided to corner the resources of the people to no consequences. So it continues to happen every day. No consequences for their actions, and it goes round and round like circles. It's a vicious circle, and that's the reason why we find ourselves in this predicament. So,
Okay, Doc, I think we
Hello,
lost.
sir.
Doc, you are still there, right?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. Okay, Doc. So the solution, holistic solutions to what's going on to address this impasse of the difference and the way you've gone about it. You can continue from where you left off, Doc.
Okay. So as I was saying, the global financial system is what keeps
We
going.
still have Queen Deborah there, isn't it? Queen.
Yeah, me. Eh?
Oh, great, great,
I'm listening.
nice one, Queen. Yeah, Doctor.
Okay, so let me finish. Then we pick here. Okay, so what I was saying, the global financial architecture system is what actually compels us to borrow. As our colleague who joined recently, some few minutes ago, as said, you are not rich because of natural resources. You are rich of because you have material possession. For example, if you have sand in your land or soil, it doesn't mean you have a house. You are rich because you have a nice house, not because you have sand in your soil. You are understanding me? You are rich because you have not a nice car, not because you have iron ore deposit in your soil, right? And the ability to exploit and process those raw materials into finished goods is what's going to make us rich.
Yeah.
However, the Western imperialists, France, Britain, Germany, and US, they are in constant surveillance to make sure that you will not be able to exploit them and use them for ourselves. So to make us rich, that is why Kwame Nkrumah was so determined to build industries so that we can convert those resources into finished goods to make us rich. So if Nkrumah had actually been in power, you have followed that direction, and the factories were working, you would have able to use those resources to create the wealth for ourselves and become rich by converting those resources. And the US don't want that to happen. And they will continue to fight any government in Africa that will want to actually do something for us to develop. And that is our enemy. Our enemy for Africa is not our leaders, it's the global imperialist agenda from US, France, and Britain that is keeping us poor. That is why we must fight. Thank you.
Okay, so Doc, how do you feel having such personalities like the previous government coming into office and being the very people that killed Kwame Nkrumah? How do you have majority of the populate seeing between the lines to realize that that was a wrong move to have? Go on.
The saddest thing is that majority of Ghanaians don't understand the Ghanaian history. They don't know what happened in 2016. What happened in 2016 is history in what? It's history repeating. 1966 to 2016, 50 years. What happened in 1966 it was repeated in 2016. The same thing. Why? Nkrumah was overthrown. Akufo-Addo's father became president. JM's father was the minister under Nkrumah's administration. He left power. Then Edward Akufo-Addo's son became the president. When Nkrumah was overthrown, Jones Oferata became the finance minister. When JN left power, Jones Ofera's son, Ken Oferata, became the finance minister. Yeah, have you seen it how it happened? Ocheme Koto, Bafo Ocheme Koto, he was the linguist of Otunfo. He actually played a key role in Battle Kwame Nkrumah. Bafo Koto's son, Dr. Afia Koto, became the agriculture minister, working with Akufo-Addo. Are you getting the picture?
Yeah, but the point is, why should it happen when the very traitors and saboteurs be able to come to power? Can the people or the populace see between the lines. That's the point I'm making.
The populace are I don't know
Or probably the doc.
and they also had the U.S. support. In 2016, the U.S. and the other foreign Western government actually supported MP power in 2016. Yes, there's a fact. Yes, yes, because Mahama was actually developing the country at a very fast rate, and U.S. France they didn't want that. According to the French ambassador, he said when she was in Ghana in 2016 that battle, she employed Ghanaian bloggers. And I said to the French ambassador that she employed Ghanaian bloggers to actually create a certain perception about the government to get him out of power. And that's why the Commander Sugar Factory never worked.
Okay, okay, Doc. Let me refer the same thing to Queen Deborah from the Nigerian angle, and why Nigeria, with almost over 200 million population, the biggest market in Africa and economy, aside South Africa, hasn't been able to get it right. And what can we all do to get this quagmire right? Queen Deborah.
Yeah, thank you, Ghana. I'm a doctor. Thank you. And my brother Kunle there, thank you very much. I'm going to answer. I want to talk about the 3 points of what my brother doctor what he said. You understand? I want to add to it. I just want to clear it off. Now you talk about Kuma, and we talk about before you talk about Christianity, that about Jesus, and you talk about the reason why that Africa cannot move forward. But there's one thing that I want us to know is that there is time for everything. You understand? When the time comes from the Lord to deliver the children of Israel from the hand of Pharaoh, it takes 400 years. And when that time comes, you understand? Many people make an attempt that time that they should escape, you understand? But it doesn't work for them at that time because the appointed time has not come. You understand? So when Kuma was there, he wanted to be the leader, the one that will lead Africa, you understand? But it doesn't work. Not only him have tried, even Gaddafi have tried, you understand? Many of them have tried to make sure that Africa can lead themselves, but none of them work. And why is it not working? Because it is their people as well that kill them. Like you said, that one person tried to stand up, to stand against them, they are going to kill him. That's Isaiah 59. So now, if you look at it, even Ibrahim, I used to pray for the guy, Ibrahim, that the Lord should strengthen him, and the people that the Lord will use to surround him, that they will not be able to use them to bring him down. Like you said, the only one common enemy that African have, that is the old African Negro, be it Ghana, be it Nigeria, be it all the Africa, West Africa, another Black Africa country. The only one enemy that they have is the West. The West is only the one enemy that they have. So when you talk about Christianity wasn't our culture. Let us understand that. Christianity wasn't the culture of Africa, and Islam is never the culture of Africa. The Black Negro, that is not their culture. So when they bring this culture, they bring this Christianity, and they bring Islamic, it's just to use it to divide Africa and to rule over them and to put them into captivities, into slave. And the Bible, when you talk about Bible, that everything was right. Everything was turned from theocracy to theology. And that is why you see that whatever they are preaching today, it does not work according to the law of God. It's all about according to the law of man. So when you look at it in the other way now, okay, let us look at it. We follow democracy, the law of democracy. The law of democracy does not save, it can never save Africa, and it's not saving Africa. All of us, Ghana have gotten their independence, Nigeria have gotten their independence, but they are still in total darkness. Nothing is working. Now we talk about our ancestors. We use our traditional maybe to worship all kind of gods. How many of their law have saved Africa? Nothing have saved them. You understand? When you talk about Sharia law and democracy and Christianity law, is just to put all the people into what? Into bondage. That's just it. And to enslave them. But if you want to really follow the law of the Most High God, the law of the Most High God is to love your brother like yourself. And that love your brother like yourself has to start from the head, not from the tail. Let us get it right. So there is no any other way that we can come. And let me tell you, the whole total Africa now, Africa as a whole, that is the West Africa, we are in the hand of Pharaoh. We are just in the hand of Pharaoh. And it is only God that will save us. Like you said, like I said, Kuma is not the person. Definitely the person that the Most High God is going to use is still in Ghana. Africa is still going to rule the whole world, whether we like it or not. The light will surely shine from Africa. Africa will rule the whole world. And the time we are now is a time of awakening. It's a time of awakening. The original people, the original Jew, all of them are waking up now. And that light will shine from Ghana. That light will surely shine. It will shine from Ghana, not in Nigeria, not from Cameroon, not for any other country. That light is going to come out from Ghana. It won't be Kuma, but somebody else that the Lord is going to use. Is in your midst there. Is in your midst there. And that is where the Savior is going to come from, whether we like it or not. So it's what will save us as we are now. Say, oh, people, it's not Ibrahim. It might start now, but that deliverance is not coming from them. Deliverance is coming from Judah, and that is in Ghana. If you want to go into spirituality, biblically, the healing will come from Ghana first. That light will shine from Ghana, because Ghana is the center of the earth. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. Even the West, they know about it. The Arab know about it. All of them know about it. But the problem that we Africans have is that we are not ready to wake up. We are not ready to open our eyes. We are not ready to stand up. We want to be on bondage. We want to be in bondage forever. Any nation that borrows, my brother, any nation that is borrowing can never be the head. Ecclesiastes can never be the head. So who make us to become a borrower? It is the West. Who make us to be leaving Africa to be coming to Europe? It is the West. This is a plan between the West and our African leaders. It's an agreement. Make them suffer, then they will run to us. Then they will take them to become a slave. They will be working for us. Doing our dirty job, we'll be paying them. And the little money we take from you, we pretend as if we are doing charity, then we are going to be using to do what? To give little. Just take a little like a dog. That is where we are now.
All right.
So the only thing that will save Africa as a whole is the kingdom of God and His righteousness. That's it. Nothing else. Not Christianity. Christianity is not the kingdom of God. Islamic is not the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is what is going to save Africa. And that kingdom will start from Ghana, where the light will shine from.
All right. Thank you so much, Queen Deborah.
Thank you very much, Madam Queen.
Thank you, my brother.
Let's run up, and Queen Deborah, give me just a minute or two to run up. Take 2 minutes, a minute or two to run up, and then Doctor, a minute or two to run up, and then we can then interject tomorrow. The struggle continues unabated. Yeah, Queen.
Dr. Anoganana, I really thank you very much for this program. And I really thank you, Doctor, for your understanding. You understand? I really appreciate that. That we have to understand, because this is what we have to let our people know. You understand? For us to wake up, we have been sleeping for so long. We have been sleeping for 400 years or 500 years now. So it is time for us to know, to wake up, to know exactly who we are.
Yes.
You understand? This is the time we have to arise and know exactly who we are. When you talk about the Bible, Oga Doctor, that time, remember that when the West are going to Congo, when they are sending them for missionary in Congo,
yes.
they said that when you get to Congo, He said, do not preach too much for them, because these people, they are the original people of the Bible.
Yes, it's
You
true.
You remember? So that's what they said.
Yes,
So
yes,
we
yes.
are
Oh, I have that document. Yeah.
God bless you.
It's called what? Yeah, King Leopold's letter to the missionaries.
Exactly.
I have it.
I lived
I
in
have it.
Belgium before. When you go to Belgium before in 1998, or yeah, when you enter the airport, you see Congo bench. That's what they call it, Congo bench. But immediately they killed the man. When the man died, they removed Congo bench. They put only bench there. So every resources of Africa is in North. North, we call it North Station. Every hotel, every tram, every train, every bus, it was built on the money and the resources of Congo. You understand?
Okay, let's
Yes.
So
go
I
to
pray,
Doc.
please, I pray that the Most High God will enlighten, open our eyes to understand that the time we are now is a time of awakening. And the Most High God will gather his people. But I keep on telling people that whether we like it or not, the light is going to shine from Ghana. The light is within Ghana there. Without Ghana standing up, the whole world will be in darkness. The whole world will be in darkness without Ghana standing up. This is just the beginning. The whole world will be in total darkness. So the kingdom of God is in the center of the earth, and which is in Ghana. And the one that the Lord have elected, he will do the job when the time comes, and nobody will be able to kill him and do anything to him.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say here, if Kuma is elected, he will not. If he is elected at that time, and it is the time at that time, nothing will happen to him.
All right, Doc.
Okay, Madam Queen Deborah, I'll say thank you very much for your wonderful submission. I'm very impressed with that. And I think in future I'm going to collaborate. So as we said, it's time for awakening, and it's time for awakening also goes with information. So
Yes.
you and I, as enlightened beings, have a major role, a major responsibility to pray. Ensure that we are awakening the Ghanaians in time for awakening. Let Ghanaians know that in the 1980s, the Soviet Union helped Nigeria to build an iron ore processing plant. When that iron ore was processed, the US government overthrew that president of Nigeria, and that iron ore has never worked up to now.
Exactly.
Let Ghanaians know that in Ghana, we have Ghana Atomic Energy Commission. We have two nuclear reactors. The US government overthrew Kwame. One overthrew Kwame. Akufo-Addo's father, the former president, his father, could not have to do the US government. They sold the bigger nuclear reactor. Let Ghanaians know that we have so many industries. The US deliberately forced to make sure they collapse. They deceived Rollins in the 1980s that issue accept diversity implementation program, that the companies should be privatized, and that was collapse industries. Let Ghanaians know that in the year 2009, 2010, the US and the British government planned the energy crisis Ghana had. They do so. They planned it. Why? Because BRA was one of the best electricity producing companies in the world. The US planned to collapse it. Why? They gave Ghana loan, and the loan condition was that Ghana have to bring in private sector participation in the energy sector. That's why we have IPPs, independent power producers. They produce 20% of Ghana's energy power, but they take how much? 70% of the revenue. That is what the doom crisis. So the energy crisis you had in Ghana was planned at the White House, not at the Ghana present house. So this is the awakening and thing that you must know. And when we get awakened, then you can know how to plan and how to develop strategy and fight it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, my fellow learned colleagues, and your time and contribution. We appreciate you so much. And the struggle continues unabated, and we cherish your, what can I say? Thank you so much. Doc, it's been a pleasure. Queen Deborah, the lioness.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right, so this is where we bring the whole show to a close, and we'll be talking in the course of the week.
Thank you very much for your time. I'm very grateful.
Don't forget to like, share, and of course, subscribe. And also look out for Legacy Africa. It is a film that will be shown across the globe. It's a Ghanaian film about a local doctor who had to struggle and then ended up in Germany becoming a medical. We'll be talking about that. And also, don't forget the background tune by Evelyn Hart has also hit the airwaves. Make sure you download it and listen to it for your devotional time and meditation time. Once again, my name is Donna. Thank you so much, and God
Thank
bless.
you. Thank
Thank
you, Doctor.
you.
Thank you. Thanks
It
for
is
Canada.
well,
Shalom.
it is
Shalom.
well with my soul. When pressures of life comes and it seems I'm in deep trouble,